Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. In this video, we're going through my round review for round 5, going through how I went in general and what my trade plans are with 3 trades and also the Thunder double to look forward to. So anyway, let's just get jumping into this video. So as you can see, the score for the round, 524 on singles, isn't the worst. It was 7,451 for a round rank. And you can see I'm in the top 4% as well now for 4,290. I'm about 800 or so points off the leaders. I felt like I did a little bit of damage there, and damage limitation almost in a way, and got back a little bit of points there. And also round rank up to 2,407, up 405 ranks. And yeah, just looking at the round rank in general, I just want to say, what am I, 4,290 points. If I hadn't had that, I'm just always looking, if I hadn't had that Lockie Shaw stuff up, if I was in the country, that's I think 161 points, I want to say 171 points, sorry, which would put me at 4,460 or so. 4,460, if I just quickly scroll down a little bit here, puts me at around about the marker of, 1 second, I know that I can't really do this, but it put me around the top 1,000 already. So 1,400 spots just from 170 points, which I think shows that, like, look at these guys. He went up around, Champs went up 1,350 slots through a 666 points. If you smash it for a round comparative to the others, if you do that, you can easily gain the spots here. Just looking at the top guys for the round, the top guy here went up 896, went up 10,000 slots, 16,000 slots, 22,000 slots. These guys obviously prepared well for the single somehow. But a lot of these guys went up massive amount of slots here. So I think it just shows, and a lot of these guys are still actually behind me. But anyway, yeah. I think it just shows to me that a lot of these, a lot of the point scorers here you can score a massive round, and suddenly, if you get it right, you can go up 1,400 slots even from the position I'm in. So I'm not counting out top 500 still. I think that's still possible. 400 or 500, about 420 slots per round, I think gets me up around about that 500 marker, because there is round 6, 7, 8, and 9, so there's 4 slots left. So it's, yeah, 500 and, I'm ranked around 2,400, so I need to get around 1,900 slots in 4 rounds, which I believe is about 480 per round or so to get me up towards that that marker there of that top 500, which I really want. So hopefully I can do it. Anyway. Philippi, DMP, and Turner 0 alongside the Wezaga 4 really hurt me. If I had even just a plain keeper, if I had stuck with the likes of Harper, I probably would be another like 20 points up, 30 points up on my actual score at the moment, which would have put me up another like 20 or 30, probably even another 100 ranks or so. But yeah, stuff that Philippi, Harper duo trade, but now I've got Philippi for the rest. And I think he's got a pretty kind run with the Stars, Scorchers at the SCG. Then he's got Adelaide at Adelaide Oval. Adelaide Oval is a pretty good ground to bat at the moment. And then also you've got him at the SCG against the Thunder, which, you know, the Thunder will be probably pretty depleted by then as well still. So I like that option there. And Shaw hopefully won't be playing, but again, he might be playing in the latter rounds as well. Jamie Overton scored a 60. We talked about that earlier today as well. Cooper Connolly, 76. Job done. Only score that beat him was, in fact, the score from Chris Green. I had a lot of middling scores, actually, if you look at it. So yeah, for Chris Green to actually beat him out was pretty good, and that was a massive trade-in for me. Will Sutherland, 16. I have had thoughts about trading him out. I just don't know whether, and I'm going to show 2 trade plans, whether I do trade him out or not. So we'll see about that. Tom Curran DMP'd, and he brought on a 0 from Ashton Turner. Kind of wish that I'd actually done, let me just see, no trades at the moment. Yeah, I was going to say history. Does it show trade history? Who did I trade out? O'Neill for Chowdhury, Renshaw, and then Boyce. If I traded out actually Tom Curran, rather than the likes of Cam Boyce, I would have more money. Plus, I probably would have had a better run at it in general, as Cam Boyce did score pretty well. So that did sort of suck that I ended up going and taking a 0 there. That was probably not the smartest decision there. But Tom Curran also looks to be potentially back this week, which I'm kind of hopeful he is. Stoinis 59, talked about it. Tom Rogers 29. And yeah, he should be just one of those bowlers that you keep for the remainder of the year. Wes Agar on the double this week. I know that he's had 2 good scores, 1 bad score, but I expect him to bounce back. Chris Green, I think he's just going to score. I think he's pretty much put up a score in every game of the year. Other than this just fat 0 that he had. Other than that, he's gone 32, 61, and then 2 big hundreds. If he can score 100 in either of the games this week, then that'll be huge. I think he'll be probably the VC, I think, for most. And then most will probably put the captaincy on maybe a 6er or a Melbourne Stars player after the double or something like that. I don't know exactly what they'll do. That actually could be a smart idea. Putting it on a Melbourne's... if you have the ability to potentially VC or... Oh, you can actually do that, actually. That's actually really smart. The way you probably do this, actually, now thinking about this, is if you VC a Sydney Thunder player, you get to see both scores for that Sydney Thunder player before you potentially look at a Melbourne Stars or a Sydney Sixer player. Like, I could look at a... because I don't know if Chief will necessarily score that well. And then you have all these guys down here with the Sydney. I wouldn't be going for the Hobart players there in a single. And Jamie Overton, because he's on the bye, can be used easily as a loop. So maybe you go a Benny DeWarsh's captain, or even like a Sean Abbott captain, or even a Marcus Stoinis captain at the end of the double round to help you out there. Or even, I wouldn't go Josh Philippe, but something like that, so that you get to see both Sydney Thunder double scores before you potentially look at it, because I don't really like Connolly on a single when you have 2 double guys, and he's not going to probably be bowling as much with Hardy back. Not the best, I don't think. And Will Sutherland, I feel like he could almost be trade out at this point. And yeah, Tom Curran could also be potentially a loophole if he's not back fully fit. Stoinis there as well, yeah. So you get that. Thornton, probably trade out now. Chowdhury, and then Jordan. I mean, Thornton's a massive part of my trade out plans either way. He's sort of the Stonewall straight to Lockie Ferguson effectively. I think they're pretty much the same price, so that's the easiest swap you'll see. Like, I legitimately think they are the same price. Chowdhury and then Jordan. And it's good to see Ben DeWarsh back next week. But anyway, let's get into... And Liam Scott there. So let's get into the first trade plan of the week. I think it's this at the moment. And then I go here and I go Sydney Thunder, because I think I have 2 guys from Sydney Thunder bringing in. Lockie Ferguson is actually cheaper, 200 coins cheaper than Thornton, so that's the easy one there. And then also we just want to see who plays. You've got Hatcher here, who could play. Hatcher could play, and you just loop him on, etc., off the bench, etc. He could be the option there, or you go for the Dan Christian option there as well. He could play, as I think they need a genuine batsman there at 7, because they lost Daniel Sams to concussion. And then you have 120k to spend, and the other one is the likes of Jacob Bethel here. I do like that option as well. You could go there, especially because you do have the weather sort of clearing out, I think, a little bit. And then I think the other option is to, and this is something that I'm just watching at the moment, is the David Warner ownership in the top sort of 5k or so. The round ownership will get him clearly up to 53%. Top 1% have him in 53%. They pretty much mirror. So yeah, and you can see pretty much that these are the obvious trade-ins. I think Connolly being traded in is quite awkward, I feel like. And yeah, you can even see Shane Rutherford getting traded in. What is Christian looking like? If I can actually filter this for Sydney Thunder. There you go. Christian is traded in by 2.4% of people in the top 1%. Top 5%, this might even be more. He is up to 2.8%. So people are looking at the Dan Christian. This will be all about teams. If he does play, and which looks like he could, because also it's only 2 days between like them. They play on the 6th and the 8th, so he may also get the second game as well, which could also be a rain out, etc. But yeah, him at 58k could easily bat, bowl, etc. He's also a handy fielder even at his age, so could easily suit up there and score. And then I just honestly do something like this. 1 second here. I think it's something like this, and then do something like that. That could be the option there. And then Bethel would obviously come on field, I feel like, over Chowdhury, because Chowdhury's game is slight in doubt at the moment, and you've got Curran there in case he doesn't actually play. And then you've also got, yeah, all that, etc. there. I could trade out Consist, but I feel like Consist might play the second game of the double, which could potentially knock Dan Christian out, but I feel like he would knock like a Blake Nikitaris out of that lineup or someone like that, rather than a Dan Christian, because they need the bowling and the batting, and Consist can only provide the batting. And then the other trade options, if I just go here, is actually to get rid of Chief or something like that. I think it is. Chief, Turner's always in there in the trade out options, and then Henry Thornton as well. And you do that, and you go Sydney Thunder, and you go David Warner, and you go Lockie Ferguson, and then you have 123k left, which then suddenly fills right in the slot there to get Jacob Bethel in, and then suddenly have something like that as well. Ben DeWash is there. Probably should just swap that around there, and then swap. I could do that even just there in general to get the captaincy loophole there. But I'd probably do something like that itself, and then something like that as well could do really well. I just don't know about David Warner's ownership, as well as Dan Christian playing could really score really well. I don't know if I'd want David Warner necessarily on a VC, just because it's a bat only. He's kind of a little bit more dangerous than a VC of a Chris Green. But that would get me up to 4 double players, as well as 2 potential loophole players. I could actually look at an early loophole here with a Chowdhury here, and then Tom Curran, potentially, yeah, something like that. That could also be. So those are sort of the 2 options. I'll probably put it up on my on a poll or something like that on Twitter about the 2 options that I've got at the moment. But yeah, Benny DeWash there. I should probably put an actual. I should probably do this as a matter of fact. Or put, say, put honestly a Chris Green in that option, because he's gonna the VC, and we know that the VC VC probably the safest place to put them is the flex, I guess. But then again, you probably want a guy that's actually going to an all-rounder in that flex position. So how am I going to fit this in? Yeah, I put just even the Tom Rogers or something in that flex position, because maybe you can maneuver it around with Liam Scott and get Liam Scott into the batter's position for or something like that. So maybe you want just a slightly later guy in the double in the round to play there. Maybe even you put like a Benny DeWash is probably better suited in that role there, so that you can get the latest loop around there with the flex position. It probably gives you the most flexibility putting Ben DeWash in there. And yeah, I think that's sorry, where I stand at the moment. And yeah, I basically get a look at Bethel's score, and then if he scores really well, then I can basically put either, if Tom Curran doesn't get up, then he can be used as captaincy. If he does get up, he does get up. But yeah, we'll just hope that Tom Curran gets up, because that would be huge for the side, as there is a little bit of rain around that I'm just monitoring a little bit. But anyway, I think that's the video, and sort of my trade options at the moment. I'm trying to be a little bit bold. I did look at like Paul Walter, as well as the likes of even Sean Abbott, because Sean Abbott should be back, I would expect, given that they play at the MCG on the 9th, and it's currently the 6th. And I feel like he would want to get back to Australia duty, from Australia duty. And also the fact that I don't think he'll tour with Australia to Sri Lanka. I think they'll go with the extra spinner rather than the extra quick. They'll go down that route. And I think that Sean Abbott will be the one that drops out for it, not Nashnega, but maybe a Roccacelli or something like that. So I feel like he won't tour, so I feel like he's a safe option for the rest of the tournament. So he could also be an option that you go for instead of like a instead of maybe a Bethel or someone like that, or a David Warner, etc. like that. But maybe you might just need David Warner, which will be quite tough to have at that price tag. It's tough to have a guy like David Warner, but with the way he's playing at the moment, all he needs to get to is 20 odd. So he might just be the smart move to cover off that type of option there. But anyway, that's the video there. If you did enjoy it, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload. And if you're listening on Spotify, give me a follow over there and you will see when I upload content over there. But anyway, I'll see you guys in the next video, which will be the trade target video. So I'll see you guys then. Bye guys.